I'm hosting singles events now myself. In every situation, it's majority women. The reason that we're reaching out to these men is because it's harder to get men to sign up for these events. And yet when we ask them to sign up, they say they don't want to sign up because they like, what is it? I don't understand.
I walked into that event last night and I wanted to die. Everyone was so short. Every single man there was like less than 5'10", or 5'10" or less, I mean. None of them are attractive. No one, not one was attractive. Not even like, oh, he could, no, not close.
After numerous failed attempts to get men to participate in her singles event, she eventually gave up trying. She just couldn't understand why every guy she reached out to declined the invitation. Now she's taken to social media looking for answers. She wants to know why men aren't willing to attend these events.
The jury is no longer out. I need to stop doing things for the plot. I am like the prime example of curiosity killed the cat, because the way I just always have to investigate things and see things for myself, it is slowly killing me. I walked into that event last night and I wanted to die. It was so bad that I almost couldn't wait until today to update you guys. I was gonna like do a video last night as soon as I got home, but then I ended up passing out. And of course, a lot of things are all about the perspective, but I'm gonna tell you why for me, it was a big no. So for starters, when you walk in, you have to get a name tag. And that's fine. I guess that's a good thing. But also I was like, what if I don't want someone to know my name? I don't know. And then when I did walk in, I was like, okay, I was wrong. It's not just women here. But the men that were there they were something. I could have turned and walked right back out immediately, and I should have. I was still waiting on the two girls I was supposed to be meeting there to come, so I was trying not to like bail before they got there. So I tried to walk around by myself for a minute. Thankfully, like a lot of people there were there alone. It was everyone's first time doing it. So I found some cool girls who like invited me over to their table and I got to talk to them for a little bit. But like, even if you were sitting with girls, like guys would always come over and talk. That's the whole point. I get it. But I was just like, I'm kind of just here for the girlies, I think. And so whenever a guy would come, I'm like, this is ruining the vibes.
So far, this has been the strangest take on a singles event experience. How can someone go to an event specifically meant for those who are single and then get upset when they're approached by another participant? What was she even there for? I thought the whole point was to connect with someone. It seems like some people speak and act without realizing how their opinions might shape others' perspectives. If the goal is to encourage more men to attend these events, her reaction certainly isn't helping.
Quite literally, the whole point in being there was to find like potential people to date. And to me, men being there, I was like, this is going to ruin the tour. Also, everyone was so short. Every single man there was like less than 5'10", or 5'10" or less, I mean. I was taller than all of them, except one. There was one really, really tall man. None of them are attractive. No one, not one was attractive. Not even like, oh, he could, no, not close. And this is probably one of the meanest things that you would ever hear me say, but there was a man there that looked like the kind of guy you should be afraid of if he was walking towards a school. I have to be vague about this because I don't want TikTok to like ban me. Like quite literally, just, he had really long hair and he just kept on like pushing it to the side of his face like it was like 2008. And he was just like walking around with his black clothes on, like with his head down, just pushing his hair out of the way. The whole time, never talked to a woman, ever. I'm like, why are you here? I know some people are shy, but it was just bizarre. Eventually, the two girls that I was meeting got there. I liked them. One of them was super outgoing and like very fearless. So when eventually we did see that there was two men there, only two out of all the people that were not completely repulsive.
At this point, I think she's just exhausted and doesn't really know what she's talking about because her comment was completely unnecessary. She said that after filtering through all the men, only two qualified, and we already know the category she placed the rest in. This is exactly why so many guys are losing interest. We already know that singles events aren't much different from dating apps. They tend to offer the same experience as most modern women treat these events as just another chance to shop around for Chad and Tyrone, leaving the rest of the men feeling like they've wasted their time and money. Then they'll post a video asking why men don't attend these events. But honestly, why would we? When there's such a high chance that nothing meaningful will come out of it. Who wants to spend their time and resources for no reason? Probably why you're at that event, to be honest. Why would an attractive guy be at a singles event? They don't need help. The guys you'll find attractive are already married or taken. Wait in line. Can I have my time back? I am confused. You know what? Never mind. So, why did you go again? Why would an attractive man pay to go to an event to meet women who likely have sky-high standards when he can meet regular women anywhere for free? This is the reason why men are not going to the dating event. The few men that go aren't even respected.
But we're sitting at a table the entire time with the same girls. And I was like, oh, like, I feel like they're off the market. They're like taken, like those, they're came together. And I was like, wait, that's not the point of this. It's supposed to be only single people. So that they're definitely single, but they're not talking to anyone else. So eventually one of the girls, I don't want to call her my friend yet, but she was just like, flagged one of the men down, brought him over, and then she was like, she wants to talk to you. And I was like, so then all three of us girls are holding a conversation with this one guy, which was awkward. It felt like I was on a freaking season of The Bachelor or something. I've never even watched the show, but it felt like we were all like gunning for the same guy, but we weren't, because eventually they found a point in the conversation to both bow out, and I was just left there talking to this man, which was nice. But at the same time, I was like, I don't want to be here. So I talked to him for quite a few minutes. I got his number, okay? But I was like, I literally was so honest with him. Like, towards the end of the conversation, I was just like, hey, I'm gonna leave. If you want to take my number, you can do that. Like, I was like more blunt than I've ever been in my life.
I think she needs to be honest with herself because it doesn't seem like she's actually looking for someone. Even after having the opportunity to talk to the top guys at the event, she still managed to find something to be annoyed about. That says a lot. It suggests that she either went there just to find things to complain about, or she still has some healing to do, because this kind of reaction isn't normal.
Would I go again? Because there's quite literally another one. There's another one next week in St. Louis if you're interested. I personally will never go again. So that being in that kind of scenario was just not worth it in the least for me. These do happen like all over. You have to like check their app to see what cities they're in. But like if you are interested, I'm like very curious on if like other cities have maybe like better choices. But to me, it felt like the dating app discards. And I was literally looking around like, these are the dating app discards. And then I was looking at like myself and I'm like, is the call coming from inside the house? I am also the dating app discards and I'm here.
I'm curious, how tall are you? It seems like you want the standard athlete 6'1" and above. There are no good men anywhere. All the options are bad. I'm glad I wasn't there so you didn't cook me. I was actually thinking about going to one. Thank you for this. So why would you go in the first place? Sounds like you went to just complain. Says a woman at a singles event. These jokes write themselves. Woman goes to a singles event. Complains men approach, complains they don't approach. Judges the men for superficialities, finally recognizes she is also a dating app failure, but never grows. If you want to stay single, why did you go to a dating event?
Quite literally, the whole point in being there was to find like potential people to date. And to me, men being there, I was like, this is going to ruin the tour.
I don't know whether she was simply confused or just ended up in the wrong place, because her reaction was completely out of place for someone who claims to be single and looking for someone. It's like going to a swimming pool and then getting upset when you get wet. That's literally the point of being there. If you know you don't want to get wet, then go elsewhere. How does someone go to an event specifically designed for meeting single men and then get upset when approached? What was she even doing there? If avoiding men is her main priority, there are countless places she could go where the chances of encountering men are minimal. Yet instead, she chose to attend a singles event, and then complained that men were also present.
Also, everyone was so short. Every single man there was like less than 5'10", or 5'10" or less, I mean.
Here we go again with a height requirement, and then they complain that they're either dating men who don't genuinely care about them, or that they can't find anyone to date at all. The truth is, Many are struggling in the dating world because of some of their superficial standards. A lot of men who could make great fathers and husbands are being automatically ruled out, leaving them with a small group to choose from. This is their main issue. Imagine dismissing a group just because they are a few inches shorter than your idealized version of a perfect candidate.
None of them are attractive. No one, not one was attractive. Not even like, oh, he could, no, not close.
This is yet another reason why most men don't view singles events as a good option for finding someone to date. They often have the same experience they get from dating apps, because modern women are still looking for the same things, regardless of the setting. At this point, I'm not sure who she expected to show up at these events. Maybe she thought a young George Clooney or Brad Pitt would attend, but apparently she was wrong. This is where the dating delusion comes into play. It's clear she isn't fully aware the type of men she considers a good match likely would not attend these gatherings, as they already have a wide range of options available to them. And the small percentage of men who do attend are typically ruled out because they're not the Chads or Tyrones many dream about. This is simply the reality of the situation, but apparently she doesn't know it.
Men always assume this, and I, for the life of me, do not understand. Anytime my friend and I invite guys to come to our singles events, they always assume that it's going to be 80% majority men. Like, they'll be like, oh, like, I think it's going to be a sausage fest. Like, I think I speak for most guys when I say, like, we're not going to come because it's all going to be other guys. That's not the case, ever. Like, I've gone to multiple singles events. I'm hosting singles events now myself. In every situation, it's majority women. And they're all really cool, fun, attractive women. In New York, women here, in my personal experience, they are very willing to sign up for events. They're willing to put in effort to make connections with people, both platonic and romantic. And I have found it not to be the case for men. So I don't know where that perception's coming from. If anyone has any idea, what is that barrier? The reason that we're reaching out to these men is because it's harder to get men to sign up for these events. And yet when we ask them to sign up, they say they don't want to sign up because they think it will all be men. It's like, no, the reason I'm reaching out to you is because there is no men. Like, what is it? I don't understand.
I can save money and get rejected at home. The type of men that need a singles event are not the type of men that women want to show up to a singles event. Because the average guy's experience with online dating is terrible. Why would they think an in-person event would be any different? As a guy, why would you go to such events? To find another bill to pay? Cool, fun, attractive women? Then they wouldn't be going to a singles event. We all know, I bet women feel the same way about the dudes that go. I'm not paying you money for me to get rejected. Most women who go to those events don't want the men that go to those events. Men realized it and stopped going. While she believes we're avoiding these events because they're supposedly full of men, the reality is very different. The real reason we've lost interest in these types of gatherings is clearly explained in the first video we watched. It's simply about understanding what most modern singles events have become. And since we already know there's little to no return on investment, most guys are choosing to put their time and energy into things that actually bring value, rather than attending events where the majority of women focus on a small handful of men, leaving the rest with no chance at a meaningful connection. Who in their right mind would spend their hard-earned money on something when the chances of a positive outcome are so low? Most guys are well aware that they won't even pass the initial screening process because of their superficial requirements. So really, what's the point in paying to get rejected? They can get the same outcome for free from the comfort of their own homes. That's why it makes no sense to go the extra mile. She probably doesn't realize that for a lot of men, the success rate is the same regardless of the setting, whether it's a dating app or a singles event. So hopefully she'll come to understand that men aren't stepping back from these gatherings for the reasons she thinks.